describe God in your terms.
God is that. God is that. Oh my God. What is God? If you want to know, I can let you know in a few minutes at the initiation. But if you ask me, I'm also lost again. I can only tell you that God is the greatest power that you can ever imagine, the greatest love that you can ever have, the greatest satisfaction that you can ever long for. His will, God or whoever that power, the Buddha nature, the highest love, the highest ideal in the universe, that is God. And when you get that, you become higher. You become everything. You can accomplish everything. That is what God is. But so little people know God because they think they have everything in this life already. To talk about God is so abstract, and no one understands that. And it's difficult for the one who has realized God to even talk about it, because we human beings with a poor language and limited understanding cannot perceive God by explaining, but by self-knowing and realizing my own experience. The Kuan Yin method is the method to know God quickly, immediately, and every day you know Him again and again. Every day after initiation, He looks after you. Then you know there is God. Is that all right?
Why is there an age limitation to initiation?
The same thing. Because sometimes people, when they get too old, they are a little bit confused in the mind and they cannot understand the instructions, or they cannot follow the Vedan diet. That's all. If you could, and your mind is still very clear, then you're welcome. No limit. Even 80 years old. The soul is forever young. It's only the mind that we need in practice. Because if the mind doesn't grasp what is talked about, then he won't accept it. And he won't let it go through. It is a gatekeeper. If you're not friendly with him, he won't let you come in.
If people are reborn, why is the world population increasing?
Because people are reborn. Because most people are not enlightened and not liberated. Therefore, the world population increases. Because there are some from hell that come up to be incarnated as human beings. They are animal kingdom beings. After paying their retribution as animal people, they come back and become human. The more cow, duck, chicken, pig people we eat, the more overpopulated the world will be. These souls have to find some revenge field for these actions. Also, there are some angels, some people from paradise. After some period of many thousand years or 100 years, they will reincarnate again on earth as a human being. Therefore, the world is always overpopulated.
If we are created in God's image, then why are we so ignorant? Why didn't God create us enlightened?
He has created us enlightened. It is that we don't walk with the light, we put it behind. We hide the light, we hide our light in the closet. If you want to know where the light is, you just get initiation and immediately see it. There's no need to ask God why His is not so loving. His is so loving. It is we don't use it. Just like you put your eyeglasses on your head, then you telephone somewhere and then go around looking for your eyeglasses. It is here. You can immediately see it. That's why it's a pity people don't see it. And I'm wondering every day. It's so easy to see God. This is a work of the negative force.
What is the role of... I don't know what's that.
What is the role of tantric ritual? What is yoga, right? Is that right? Tantric yoga is like this. The real tantric is the secret practice of kind of meditation. Why is it secret? Since ancient times, the master's life are in danger. You can see, for example, many Indian saints are slain alive. Christ was nailed on the cross. Buddha was nearly assassinated and attacked nearly every day in his life. So the ancient masters were hiding themselves very well. So whenever you want to come to a master, it's difficult. So they call it a secret doctrine, secret way of practice. Now tantric is one part of it. The real tantric is the practice of the Kuan method, the method of enlightenment. But nowadays, everything changes. After the real master died, everything changes. So, as with any religion or any sect, any kind of practice. So, again and again, a real master always has to be reborn in order to correct the proper method and tell people what is the correct one. But whenever the real masters come, people reject them, thinking, no, I practice tantric, I practice Buddhism, I practice Catholicism, and that's enough. They do not know that the living master is important. And the tantric nowadays is not the real tantric. And all the rituals are symbols of the real inner realization. For example, if you light the candles and the light, beat the drums and the gongs and ring the bells, these are symbols of the inner realization, the inner light and the inner drums, the inner bells, the inner conch, etc. So in any ritual, they blow a lot of music, they play a lot of music, and they light a lot of candles. In any church, in any practicing center, this symbolizes the inner power, the inner realization, the inner light, and the inner sound. Now they only have rituals and no essence, no realization. And what is yoga? So was it yoga? Yoga, I don't know. Not yoga, no?
No, choga.
Yoga. What is that?
The destruction of the ego.
Oh, that's just Indian, right?
No, this is Tibetan Buddhism.
Oh, I see. Is that the... Just tell me a little bit about it and then I understand what it means.
It's the ability to ritual to destroy the ego.
Chud. The ritual of chud.
Oh, the person go in near a dead person or a tomb, put in a tent over there, and every day kind of punishing himself and telling himself, I trample upon the ego and all that kind of thing. Oh, that is their practice. Sometimes it makes the person become crazy by this practice, more often like that. But the master will not care about this. He said, once you committed yourself to yoga, then you have to take the risk of gaining it or losing your life. Is that so? So I consider this too dangerous for the modern time. And we have not so much time to go to the cemetery or to put up a tent in an isolated and scary place in order to kill our ego. I believe to kill our ego is to merge ourselves with God. Yeah? When we are one with God, then we lose ourselves. And it's as simple as that. There's no need to try to tax your brain with outer punishment and hypnotism. Yes, I believe. Thank you. This is yoga. This is in Tibet, they practice like that. It's a little bit dangerous. You become so thin, so yellow and so white. You don't eat and every day you might beat yourself. And sometimes you practice until it becomes really painful. You feel the pain that you convince yourself you are pain. And nobody kills him, but he thinks someone kills him. Nobody bites him, but he believes he is bitten. And that is very painful. And then you can become, NUT as...
What is mind? Where does it exist in the body? When we use the term, I have changed my mind, what it means? What is the role of mind in the process of enlightenment?
The mind actually doesn't exist. We know it when we think, or when we change our idea. So we know I have a mind. I have changed my mind. If we have no ideas, no thinking, no thought, then we have no mind. Where does the mind come from? Only from thinking. From the data we collect from the outer information. Our thinking is the result of our learning and our contact with other people. That's what we call mind. And the mind really doesn't exist. The mind we can call prejudice. Yeah, whatever we collect and we believe or not believe. And then we collect this. After some time, we call that the mind. If I believe in Buddhism and somebody comes along and preaches to me Catholicism, and I don't believe that priest, I say Catholicism is no good. It's heretical, it's atheistic, and things like that. And that is when you know you have a mind. You can say you have prejudices, that's all. The collected thought from someone else, it convinces you, and then it's rooted inside you, and you can't root it out. And this is what the mind is. And it's nowhere in the body. It's somewhere in the brain, maybe, in the gray matter, where you collect the different information and store it up there. But if we operate on the brain, we couldn't even find it. It is invisible. It's this thought waves. This is a mind. And now, what is the question? Where's the mind? After you read the question, you give it to me, so I might refer to it. I'm getting old and can't remember everything. When we use the term, I changed my mind. Yeah, we change our idea. Yeah, like I just want to marry. No, I mean, I'm a monk, I cannot. Some other example. Like I want to eat a candy. Yeah. I was just thinking about you and then talking about me. I can't get married now. I just want to eat a candy, and then I think, no, candy makes my toothache. So I changed my mind. I eat a fruit. And that's what we call, I changed my mind. So simple is that. Why do you have to ask me? We change our thinking, our choice of something. That is when we change our mind. What is the role of mind in the process of being enlightened? Oh, this is very important. The mind has a very big role in the process of enlightenment. It can help us and it can destroy our faith. Therefore, a master, however high degree, has to use a lot of logic and reasoning in order to befriend the mind, in order for the mind to accept the ideas. And then you can go get initiation and start the practice. If the mind doesn't accept it due to a lot of prejudices, due to a lot of preconceived ideas, then you are in trouble. Just like the first questioner, she or he say, I like to follow you, but my mind doesn't get the message through. That's the problem, because we have so many preconceived ideas. Like to become a Buddha, we have to read the Lotus Sutra thousands of times. To become Buddha, we have to read the Om Mani Padme Hum dozens of times. Or to go to heaven, we have to go to church every Sunday and listen to the priest's sermon, etc. We can't believe that the so-called Master Ching from Taiwan can give us God experience. And that is how the mind can hinder us, and it plays a big role in our process of enlightenment. Most people cannot get enlightened. Most people are born over and over again in this world and make the world population more crowded every day because of the mind. They could not break through the mind's gate in order to receive a master's instructions and be liberated. That's how great the mind is. It is the greatest after God, I tell you. It may be even greater than God, because here in this world, the mind controls everything. The preconceived ideas, the prejudice, the collected data control everything. And let us forget our inborn nature and make us forget we are not these preconceived ideas. We are not to forget our judgment. We have to find our inborn wisdom. But the mind is always in between. And this is how the world is overpopulated. The mind.
Once one attain enlightenment through meditation, is it possible to attain enlightenment through any other activity?
Enlightenment It's not through meditation. Meditation is only one part of the work to enlightenment. But without meditation, you couldn't be enlightened. But when you meditate, only you couldn't get enlightened either. You must be initiated. You must be opened. The inner wisdom must open. Then you get enlightened, not by meditation. But after the opening of the wisdom, you must nourish your wisdom and your enlightenment every day by the process of being quiet, to be quiet in order to perceive our wisdom and our own nature, to perceive the message from God. That is called meditation. Be it standing, sitting, lying down. So don't think you cross your legs like this and you get enlightenment. No, no, no. You have to be quiet to go within and perceive your own wisdom. And that is meditation. And if you haven't got the inborn wisdom, then it doesn't matter how you meditate for how long. It makes no difference, no use.
如何才能知道自己的言行和见解或经验是真正合于佛菩萨的见解和经验，而不是自己的妄见和幻想？
这个我们可以知道，如果我们修行一个正确的法门，我们有方法可以分别真假。在印心的时候，师父会告诉你们怎么分别是真的佛、假的佛、真的境界或是幻想。不然的话，我们没办法知道。You want to hear it or not? Yeah? The person asks like this. How do you discriminate between a real Buddha, real inner words, and illusion? How do you know if it is real or illusion when you meditate and you experience inner words? I say at the time of initiation, I tell you how to discriminate. There is a method to discriminate between the real and the false. And also, you have the master's protection, then you know. After enlightenment, you know. 印心的时候，以后你会知道哪个是真的，哪个是假的。师父都会告诉。The real master should tell you everything. Every setback, every hole on the road, every illusion, and every trick from the devils. If not, then she or he is not a real master, because he or she doesn't know himself.
如果成佛是许多上师共有的经验，而且合于成佛本身的经验，为什么在佛法内有这么许多不同的法门，而且有许多方法是有矛盾之处？譬如显教吃素，密宗吃肉。
这个不是佛的教理，而我们人的教理。佛走了以后，我们凡夫乱猜、乱修、乱发明很多方法。比方说，本来没有显教，没有密教。显是什么意思呢？显是公开的，密就是不能泄露。那我们佛教本来有显有密，师父法门也有显有密。显是什么东西啊？现在师父讲话，那个是显。密就是等一下师父不讲话，他们传给你个人的，那个是密，并不是说因为你不能告诉别人，而别人没办法知道。听懂？就在你方便，你没办法了解师父传给你什么，你没办法知道你的等级你的果位在哪里，这个是叫密，并不是说密众是密。那今天密众他们都吃肉因为他们误解佛的教理。你们回去看《楞严经》《涅盘经》，任何经典都强调我们修佛道应该是素。任何人叫人吃肉，就是叫魔的法。你们没有看《楞严经》好，没有看《楞严经》的话，回去再看菩萨经、放网经，都讲一样的事情。如果不知道，可以看师父为什么素食那本书那少样本书都有讲，里面佛的经典都强调是素的。因为佛走了以后，大家都乱搞嘛，这个没办法。任何宗教都一样，名师走了以后，大家都乱搞。You also want to hear about that? It is like this. The person asked me in Chinese. I'm sorry if they asked in Chinese. The person asked me, If enlightenment is all the same, why is it the Buddhism became so many sects and so many different practices? 对不起，那个很多方法也不应该的，懂不懂？以后大家乱猜的。比方说那个密宗啊，很多饼干那种东西，本来佛教在印度没有啊。释迦牟尼佛坐在菩提树的时候，他开悟，他没有送什么饼干，没有拜什么佛，是不是这样子啊？去到别个的地方啊，然后染一点点那边的本地的风俗和习惯，他那个宗教就变成这样了。释迦牟尼佛没有诵经，没有拜佛，没有送那个什么奶油的饼干，像那个迷众一样，没有啊。他是做这样子打坐就成佛啊，看信心成佛，看里面的信心。所以现在很多宗派很多那个法门呢，不是佛教的啦，都是后来的人发明，了解吗？Sure. It's like this. He asked me if the enlightenment is the same, why is Buddhism, for example, divided into so many sects, and some encourage eating vegetarian and some, like the secret doctrine, the lamas, they eat meat, and so many different methods of practice. My answer is this. The enlightenment and the method are only one. After the death of the master, everything becomes topsy-turvy and changed. Like, for example, the Buddha, when he sat under the Bodhi tree and meditated and saw the stars within, saw the light within, then he became enlightened. He did not bow to any images. He did not beat any drum. He did not light any candles. He did not offer any butter cakes like the secret sect, the Lama sect, they do. All these rituals and different methods came after the Buddha's nirvana. People lost the lineage of enlightenment, and then they just invented something. Buddhism, after it came to Tibet, of course, took on the color of the national religion, the butter cakes and all the images and so many different kinds of images and different kinds of color flags and all this. This is the Bon religion. This is the religion of the Tibetans. And after that, it influenced Buddhism, and then it mixed them together. So the same when Buddhism went to China, and then it adopted a lot of Taoist rituals. They would recite the mantra, they beat the drum, light the candles and all that kind of thing. And these are not pure Buddhism. The pure Buddhism has nothing like that, so noisy. The Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree and became enlightened. He needed no candle, no cakes, no flower, no fruit, no outside rites and rituals. Is that not so? And the pure vegetarian diet is the Buddhist diet. Because in all the sutras, the Buddha says you must eat vegetarian if you want to become a Buddha. Anyone who teaches that people eating meat can become a Buddha is teaching the doctrine of the devil. He says so clearly in the sutra. And in many sutras, he says like that. So afterward, if someone eats flesh and still says he's a Buddhist, oh wow, I cannot do anything about that. Yes.
I know of a temple that was built in Northern California by some Tibetan Buddhists.
Yes.
And it's a very famous place, very holy ground.
Yeah.
And they converted to eating meat during the construction of the temple for that reason, so that they had more energy. And
They
also,
say what? They don't eat meat?
They do eat. They
Yeah.
eat meat during the construction of the temple.
In order to get more energy.
Yes, for a period of 5 years. And as far as I know, they're still on the pathway to enlightenment.
Oh.
And I've heard from another enlightened master who's not here in California that there's a power in eating meat that can help us repel a lot of the maybe evil spirits.
Then the Surangama Sutra is telling a lie. Then Sakyamuni is telling me a lie. The Surangama Sutra is the most reliable source of Buddhist scripture and the practicing scripture. If you read it, it is stated strongly. Anyone who eats meat can attain the level of the Mara king, meaning the devil king only, or the devil subordinate, can never reach Buddhahood. Please go home and read it, and don't question me. I cannot help what the Buddha has said.
That karma could not be transmuted by a Buddha?
Oh, the Buddha says, whatever you sow, so shall you reap. The Buddha himself dare not transgress the material law. For example, if I go to a communist country, maybe I am a liberal country citizen, but when I go to a communist country, I have to abide by that law, whether I like it or not. If I don't, yeah. So maybe in the Buddha land, there's no law, no bad, no evils. But here, whatever you sow, so shall you reap. Yeah, the law of karma, of cause and effect, everyone must obey. Therefore, the Buddha emphasized, "O bhikshus, don't eat any flesh of sentient beings, even the 5 kinds of clean flesh." Afterward, he strongly stated, "I forbid you to eat from today any kind of meat whatsoever." It's not I who said it, it is the Buddha. These scriptures are translated into Tibetan, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, into all kinds of languages. All kinds of languages I read, all kinds say the same thing. So what shall I do about that? You may think they are enlightened. They may believe they are enlightened. But if you read the Surangama Sutra statement, you know their level of attainment. They are enlightened, yes, but not very high. Because you see, animal people have some kind of, their energies are heavier than ours. And the karma is heavier, therefore they are born as animal people. Now, if we borrow this kind of magnetic field to our magnetic field, we become more mixed with animal people's magnetic field. Of course, we cannot become higher. How is that logical? I'm sorry, after you get more enlightened, you will see who is enlightened. From some normal standpoint, it is difficult to recognize. But when your heavenly eyes open, you will see those who are so-called enlightened, who eat meat. Their magnetic fields, their auras are mixed with black, brown, coffee spots. It's not clear, it's not beautiful, not light. It is dark. Then you will know. I'm sorry, it is like that.
What is the opposite force of enlightenment, and what is its purpose in the final outcome?
The opposite force of enlightenment is unenlightenment. It is force of darkness. It's the force of obstructions. It can hinder us in many ways and make us ignorant. And it cannot make us visit the pure land, the land of the Most High. The purpose in the final outcome, you are liberated. You no longer fear death and life. You know everything in the universe. That's the outcome of enlightenment. You can save sentient beings.
And I meant, what is the purpose of the opposite force in the final outcome of everything?
Oh, you mean what's the purpose of the negative force?
Yeah.
And the final outcome of the struggle between the two. Is that right?
Yeah, what's the purpose of the negative force?
Oh, it is to strengthen us. It is like without water, we cannot learn how to swim.
Like ground?
Yeah, without any complicated highway rules of driving, you cannot keep the order of the society. You cannot learn how to drive well. So all these temptations from the negative force are for us to overcome it. That we should resist it and become stronger and stronger, stronger in will and stronger in power. Understand? That's it.
Is it true that once you become a master, that you can develop magical powers, such as turning objects into different things, etc.?
Everybody likes magical power. What small tricks? Turning objects into different things? Yes, definitely. These are only children's tricks. You want to learn that? Any magician can do. No need for a great master. But the master can do that also, if necessary. Not to do it to let you have a look. Biết nào Nguồn? Xin Thầy cho biết có kiếp sau không? Tại sao những người tử tế lương thiện vẫn gặp phải những cảnh bất hạnh, những kẻ gian ác vẫn gặp may và sống một đời sung sướng? Nếu cứ tiếp tục tu tại gia, đời sau có khá hơn không? Kiếp sau có chứ. Mình tu rồi mình có thấy được. tu rồi sẽ thấy được kiếp sau và kiếp trước. Nhưng mà tu cái pháp quán âm này là không có kiếp sau nữa, đi lên cảnh Phật luôn, không có luân hồi. Câu hỏi thứ hai, tại sao những người tử tế lương thiện gặp những cảnh bất hạnh? Bởi vì đời trước họ không có tử tế, không có lương thiện. Những người sống ở thế gian này không phải chỉ có một đời thôi, nhiều khi có đời trước nữa. Đời trước mình quên nè, họ quên nè, mình không thấy được. Hoặc là nhiều khi họ ở trong bóng tối á, họ làm những cái việc bất lương mình đâu có biết được. Ở ngoài mặt thì thấy rất là lương thiện nhưng mà trong lòng họ mình đâu biết được. Chỉ khi nào mình tu hành là mình mới biết người nào tốt, người nào xấu. Dùng con mắt thần mình mới thấy được. Câu hỏi thứ ba, tiếp tục tu tại gia. Nếu mà không có tu cái pháp quán âm thì nếu mà tu hành rất là coi như là trì giới thì có thể kiếp sau khá hơn một chút. Làm người thì được sung sướng hơn, giàu có hơn như vậy đó. Nhưng mà cái chưa chắc nè, chưa chắc không. Tại vì có còn cái nhân quả của kiếp trước nhiều khi ảnh hưởng tới kiếp này. Nếu kiếp này mình làm lương thiện mà mình vẫn bị gặp khốn nạn, gặp những cảnh khốn khổ bởi vì những cái nhân quả của đời trước. Cho nên tốt hơn hết là đừng có đời sau. Gấp lại kinh học với cô tu cái thiền này, mỗi ngày ngồi thiền 2 tiếng đồng hồ đời sau khỏi có lại nữa, về ở với Phật an toàn hơn, hiểu không? You want me to translate this as well? Yeah. How many more questions?
They have provided.
Outside? Oh, okay. Like this.
Here.
The first question is a Vietnamese question. The first question the Vietnamese person asked, is there really a life after death? I say yes. If we practice, we can see it. We can see our previous lives and our afterlife. But if we practice this Kuan Yin method, we don't see our afterlife because we don't have to come back as a human being anymore. We go to the Buddha's land. We go to live with God. Yeah, so I told him. And then also he said, why is it someone who looks very nice and virtuous, and why is that he still encounters some disaster and unpleasant circumstances? I say, yes, maybe because last life he was not very virtuous. Some of the karma from last life, or maybe in the darkness, when nobody else looks, he does something that is not virtuous. We don't know, but God knows, the Buddhas know. So that's what I answered him. And those who seem to do some very bad deeds, but also have a lot of merits and happiness in this life, it is because last life they have sown some good seeds, some merit, some good virtue. Now the third question is, if you carry on to practice as a lay person, would you be better off next life? I said, maybe, maybe not, because we do not know what's in store for us in the future if we don't clean the store of karma away. Because our life consists not only of this life karma, but of past lives karma. So if we don't clean them all off, then we don't know what we become in the next life. So the best thing is not to have a next life. So practice the Kuan Yin method and go directly home with the Buddha, with God. Then we don't need to worry about anything. We go to live in reality. Okay?
We still have 16 questions.
Yeah. So what is it?
We don't have time.
Don't have time, so what to do about this?
One question.
Sorry?
One question per paper.
One question per paper. Yeah, well, it's difficult to choose. Okay, the last one. What is the best way to integrate the 3 levels, the child self, intellect, and the higher God self within you? Oh, the Kuan Yin method. That's the best way to unite yourself, put yourself all together and become one. Now, we have a problem here. We have a lot of questions and the time is up. We could stay longer, of course, until 12 o'clock, is that right? But we have to clear everything out before 12. And maybe someone wants to get initiation or someone wants the answer. Shall we do initiation another day and answer questions today? No? You want initiation today? Come back tomorrow. It's the same. You couldn't come tomorrow? Why? Why? If any really good reason that you couldn't come tomorrow?
It might too late.
Maybe too late?
Right.
I understand. When I want initiation, I also want it yesterday. But what about these questions?
Answer them tomorrow. Tonight. Yeah. Tonight.
Everything tonight. Okay, how many people want to get initiation? Yeah. Couldn't we just do it together tomorrow? I promise you will not die tonight. I will protect you until tomorrow. This is lovely. It's hard to decide. We have 2.5 hours only. Might not even be enough. How about coming to our place tomorrow daytime? Will you have time in the daytime?
You have to be in Vietnamese.
Tomorrow? Oh yes, tomorrow I'm busy. Then the next day, Monday, still have vacation. She shakes her head. Yeah, I'm afraid the police will throw me out. He's waiting, 12 o'clock, he'll throw me out. It's like this. Who is for questions today and initiation the Monday? Please raise a hand. Only one. That's two. Who is for initiation today and answers tomorrow? Okay. But you must promise me one thing. If I give you initiation today, you must come back tomorrow again. Why? Because there are many things I could not tell you enough today. I could only give initiation without any explanation. Understand? Yeah? I'm worried you will go astray, that's all. You only come to see me tomorrow or next day. After, you don't need to. Not that I want to catch you. I just want to do my duty completely. Yeah? Is that all right? Yeah. Okay, then initiation today. Go out and fill out the form. And the other, and get some information quickly and come back. Whoever wants initiation, please go out and ask for some basic information. Quickly, quickly, quickly. We have no time. If you want initiation, you must be vegan from today. Yeah? Now, please. Please don't talk. Now I can answer some of the questions. Yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah. Yesterday we had a section and you did not come. Yes, sir. How are you? You can be with you? All right. All right. Go out. Tell them that I accepted you, then you're okay, okay? What is it? Yeah, could you ask another day?
Another day?
Yeah. Is it so quick?
Ask maybe inside.
Oh, yeah. If you won't get answered tonight, then come back tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come to my place. Now, please listen to the question and answer. 这个也是啊. Now, if you want to have the question and answer, please listen and don't talk. We give initiation until 12 o'clock midnight, yeah? Can you stay? Now, describe your first experience at enlightenment. How did you know? This at initiation you will know. I have taken many journeys in my life, but each time I travel into nature, far, far off the beaten path, I experience a tremendous feeling of power, almost as if I am traveling inside myself. What does it mean? It means you might be experiencing something new. It's your own power inside. It's also good, yeah? But be careful. If you have a master, better ask him how far you are. Now, the third question. My hobby is rocks and minerals. In its pursuit, would this be one of the many paths to enlightenment? No, you become a rock. You are what you like. You are what you eat. You are what you think. Yeah, so many people look after pet people, then they look like a pet. Don't you think so? The dogs and the cats look the same. So be careful. Whereas our world is inundated with things like instant noodles, instant housings. Now comes instant enlightenment, for instant self-gratification. Isn't this quick fix method a direct reflection of social impatience and therefore our inability to truly realize that glorious and elusive path of providence? Sudden enlightening, this is an ancient method. In China, we call it sudden enlightenment, 顿悟法门. It means sudden enlightenment, means immediate enlightenment or instant enlightenment. It's the same thing. We have this long ago. And the Buddha called it sudden enlightenment. There are two roads to enlightenment, a quick road to enlightenment and a long road to enlightenment. We call 渐悟 and 顿悟, mean a gradual path and a quick path. So this is not a reflection of our modern standard civilization, but it is an ancient way of quick liberation. But even then, you have to persevere. Every day you must meditate. I don't just tell you get a quick enlightenment and then go home and watch TV every day. No, you have to work hard. I still meditate every day. The Buddha meditated every day. It's not a quick fix. It's just a quick glimpse of enlightenment and a long life of watering and nourishing. Yeah, so it's no lazy path. No. Why do you shave your hair and dress like a monk? What is the purpose? Oh, it is because I'm a monk. Yeah. I was a monk, I'm a monk, and I will be a monk. What is bad about being a monk?
What's the meaning of you wearing yellow and having so much yellow around?
Okay, then tomorrow I will have green. How about that? It is just the tradition. The Buddhists and the monks, the Hindus, they wear yellow.
No meaning?
No, it means enlightenment. So the monks are wearing yellow symbolizes enlightenment. That's it, yeah? But I don't mind. I wear many colors. I don't care about that. Because I collected from those, they wholesale and they cannot sell it and they sell it 1 kilo for 5 cents. So there are many colors and I fix them all together and wear like this. It look okay, no? Very cheap. Yeah? I wear green sometimes, white or whatever color I can find. Cheap cloths. Self-made, self-designed, very cheap, comfortable, cool. Oh, how did you become enlightened? Oh, yeah. It's by this method. Yeah, by the sincere longing for enlightenment. And third, where will you be after you drop these clothes? Which kind? The outside or this?
Your body.
Flesh? I will be where I have been. I will be where I have been. I will be where I came from. What is the best way to stop thoughts so that I can enter samadhi? Guanyin method. How long can you stop thought? As long as you are in samadhi, you can. Nguồn. If life is eternal and never ends, if a soul is eternal and never ends, how can the taking of life or the refusal to bear life be wrong? It is because it is not natural. For example, your life should be 60 years and you force it to become 45. That means you're taking over God's will and right. Therefore, it is not correct. Everything unnatural is violating. Just like you have to drive at 40 kilometers per hour and then you drive at 60. Yeah? And that is wrong. Also, to refuse to bear life is wrong because you are kind of a coward. Yeah? You saw some bad deeds and you don't want to reap the fruit of it. Yeah? You only want to give other people suffering, and when the retribution comes to you, you don't take it. Like you borrow someone else's money, when you have money, you don't want to give it back. And that's of course wrong. Wrong is that. Yeah. Now, how does an enlightened person experience sex? Is there any joy? Oh, this is nothing. The sense enjoyment is so low, so cheap, and so exhausting. If you experience enlightenment and greater joy, then you can compare. Then you know the joy experienced in sexual intercourse is like garbage. At that time, you couldn't imagine how you have indulged yourself so far in such a very cheap substitute. Why we indulge ourselves in sexual enjoyment? It is because we have not known a greater joy. If we had known a greater joy, then we would leave that behind. We wouldn't even think about that. It is like a baby, he wants milk, and then he just pulls away his dummy. It's like that. When you're hungry enough, you don't want any more dummy. You just want the breast of the mother. And then you know that is the real thing. And you throw away the dummy. Yeah? When you grow up, you don't want to play with plastic cars. You want to drive a real Mercedes. And that is when you know the higher value in life. When you get complete enlightenment, you know sex is garbage. But as you are not enlightened, you may just slowly go into it, and there's no need for a quick forbidden to yourself. But sexual joy is nothing compared to heavenly joy. Christ said, I am the way, the truth, the light. No man comes before the Father but by me. Is Buddha an antichrist or another form of Christ? Did Buddha claim to be the Son of God as Christ? Christ said, a man must be born again to obtain salvation. What does Buddha say on this subject? 不用，我先问这个。What Christ said is correct. Whenever a master, a living master comes and you follow that master, then you can go to the Father. Except through that master, you can't go to the Father. That's the necessity of having a living Christ. Therefore, Christ said, I am the light of the world. As long as I am in the world. He didn't say I am forever. He was afraid that we misunderstand. So he said, as long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. After me, I will send other comforters. And before me, there was such and such. Yeah? So, and then Buddha is not an antichrist. Christ is Buddha. Tell them not to be so noisy outside. Close the door. Because Buddha and Christ teach the same thing. If we take the page, please close the door and don't talk so loud. I cannot work in this kind of condition. I have to concentrate in order to understand your deep meaning and answer to your satisfaction. Couldn't really just throw an answer at your face like that with any kind of noise. You see what I mean by rushing too much? I asked you to come tomorrow or the day after, and you're afraid you die tonight. Buddha didn't say he is the son of God, but he said he came from the Tathagata worm. The Tathagata means the ocean of consciousness, the worm of all consciousness. It means God consciousness. When we say Christ came from God, or the Son of God, or the Buddha came from the Tathagata, it's the same meaning. Christ said the man must be born again to attain salvation. That is true. That is true. After a while, you will be born again after initiation. You will experience some kind of death. And then you come back to life again. That's what is called born again. Last time when I gave initiation, some people saw the frontier of death and life. I mean, the tunnel that we talk so much about. So after death, you will see the tunnel, and then you go through the tunnel, and then you see the light. Yeah. At the initiation, you may experience the same, or some of you may. That is what the process of death or being born again is. That's what it means, initiation. Since God created everything, so can we say that the devil is the son of God too? Yeah, he was. But he's a bad son. So God told him to get out of heaven. Yeah? But after some time, he will come back again. When he repents for his deeds. Can you become initiated with a closed heart when one fears love? can, you can. Then your heart will be opened, and then you will not fear love anymore. You must try it. Why doesn't plant vibration affect us when we eat them like animal people flesh? Oh, that's a good question. It is because plant vibration is sustaining and not dragging like animal people. And also the plant vibration is not so strong of such a downpour. Because animal people, they have strong consciousness. Therefore, when they die in hatred, this vibration or this atmosphere stays there. Yeah? And even in their flesh, there are some toxins in it due to this hatred. But the plants, their consciousness is so low. They don't have such a strong sentiment or passion. Therefore, they cannot affect us so much. Yeah? How much time does the initiation usually take? Thank you for your givingness. About 3-4 hours, sometimes 7 hours. The great initiation takes all day. It's better like that. But you are so fast moving. You want it today. So I try to make it concentrated, quick. Better is all day. I can explain a lot of things to you, satisfy your inner doubts and skeptical questions. Yeah? Yên Anh lên hãy chay mà. Người Việt Nam hỏi cái câu này còn không? Đi rồi, thôi khỏi. Save an answer. She's not here, so I don't need to. Is there any minimum level of indulgence in physical and intellectual pleasure so that you can still make contact with God? Yeah, you may go on as before. And this minimizing effect will come gradually as you practice the inner heavenly light and vibration method. There's no need for you to kind of over control yourself and make yourself feel nervous and tense. It will diminish by itself, yeah, by the practicing. All you have to do is live a vegan and ethical life, and the other things slowly we change. Yeah, we can't just press ourselves too hard. We can't press the mind too much. It will rebel and give us problems. Okay, thank you very much.
Russia, go home now.